Welcome everybody to another episode of Sippin Sports. We are here with the legendary Mayor Michelle Kaufusi.
Thank you.
And Scott Henderson, the Chief Administrative Officer of Provo, Utah. So it's super incredible to have you guys here. We're so grateful for you guys to have the opportunity to speak to us a little bit about Provo. Obviously, a lot of attention has been given to the Epic Sports Park, which you guys, that's the crown jewel right now, obviously, of the sports tourism side of things. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you all to our market specifically, as well as just hear your guys' background and what makes Provo great. So if you want to start, Michelle,
Perfect.
that'd be great.
So Provo is my favorite topic.
Yeah.
I am a Provo girl through and through, born and raised here, and raised my family, and just have so much love for this community. And I can't think of a better position to be in as being the mayor, and be able to literally come to work with a pure heart of only wanting to do and deliver projects that improve our quality of life in Provo.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what this is all about for me. And I always tell my staff, we always think big. I mean, nothing's off the table. Let's at least have the conversation and go for big projects. And the Epic Sports Park is just one of those amazing, like, you can't make this stuff up the way we got that sports park to where it is. And it's still not even completed. People ask all the time, what's going on the rest? And I just tell them, please be patient. They're used to us working fast because that's what we do. We get a job and we work fast and we're done. But this one is so epic and so huge that we're working on it still. It's an ongoing project.
No, for sure.
The best part of it is that my Chief Administrative Officer, Scott, was the visionary of the Epic Sports Park. And so he gets full credit and kudos for all of that. So I'll just turn it to Scott and let him go on that.
Well, visionary is a very kind word, but in working with Abby, they were growing our local youth sports programs to the point that we were having to tell kids that we're full. And we were not able to play on the amount of fields that we have. I think it was 11 fields with over 330 teams. And so this whole vision started with a local need to take care of our own kids and be able to do this. And then there was just a moment that happened that when we were looking for where this go to where we said, we can take this to another level. So before I was CIO, I was Parks and Recreation Director, and we had a chance to really take a visionary project and work it to the finish to take care of our locals, but also jump into the sports tourism industry. Little did I know that our sports coordinator at the time would be a huge part of the sales pitch and bringing people here. It's a venue that's unique. You see a lot of these venues in what you would consider warm winter climates, where this is a venue where we can play the normal regular season of soccer and be able to play it at a complex right here in Provo. And we have dabbled in sports tourism with our Olympic ice arena and our Olympic venue and done those things there. And obviously with BYU in our community, we're used to welcoming people and doing these things. So I'm like the mayor in that there's a great story that weaves throughout about how many times could we have said, oh, this is too hard, this is too tough, but we just kept persevering because we knew it was the right thing. And when the mayor listed it as one of her top 5 projects, I think that created this continuity in the organization and said, it's just not a park and rec project, it's something we can all do together. And boy, has it changed Provo right from the very start.
And it's funny enough, I actually just got back from one of the major sports tourism conferences last week called Sports ETA Symposium, and it was in Tulsa this year. And we had the pleasure of displaying a video highlighting Provo and Utah County. And the whole week, everybody was saying, I have never heard of this location. The mountains are gorgeous. Obviously, we have a beautiful view that we're on display today. And just seeing the Epic Sports Park and seeing, you know, the relationships that we have, kind of like you said, started as a Parks and Rec project that has now exploded into how can we make this as epic as we possibly can. And I love that so much because now, you know, we're all working together to see why not Provo? Why couldn't we make this happen there? Which has led to multiple events that are now saying, yeah, we'd love to be in, you know, Provo instead of Orlando, Florida, or anything like that. So I love that, you know, Provo is now competing as a destination, you know, one, for locals to give it the best community opportunity as possible to them, but also, you know, inviting and welcoming all of these new communities and new people that want to see what makes Provo so great. Which kind of leads me to the next thing, which obviously we have our Provo airport that used to be, you know, a small airport to get in, charter planes and every now and then a couple of things. But now tell us a bit about the growth that's exploded there. Like in the past 2 years, I want to say, it's just highlighted so much. So what's going on there?
It's so exciting. And like, just Abby, with you speaking about the sports park, and then you said airport, and I get goosebumps. What is wrong with me? I mean, I am in full mayor mode. The fact that I'm getting goosebumps over infrastructure and construction in Provo, I love it so much. But the Provo airport is such a fascinating story. Being the 45th mayor and the first woman mayor, you know, a lot of people didn't know what to think, and especially being the only one born and raised in Provo. So I know this town really well. And coming in and seeing the airport, the little walk-through thing, it just didn't feel right. And as when you become mayor, there is no handbook on how to be mayor. You literally are just grasping. And so you're reading every 30-year plan and anything you can get your hands on, and you're reading about cities comparable in size. And I remember seeing this 30-year plan that said, in 30 years, we will have a new airport. And I came to work the next morning. I'd stayed up late reading that whole thing and said, so I want to build an airport. And my advisors around the table looked at me like I was like crazy. And they said, why in the world? It's on the 30-year plan. Mayor, it'll happen in 30 years. And I kept saying, what is magically going to happen in 30 years? It's going to be more expensive, more unattainable. There will be more red tape, more regulations. I mean, I had a million reasons of why I wanted to build that airport. I went around, I love this, and Scott probably hates it, but in big decisions, I go around the room and I put my people on the spot and I say, if you were the mayor, what would you do? They hate it, and I love it so much because it forces them to switch roles.
Think outside the box.
And so, again, we went around the room, and every single one of them said, you're late to the game. It won't work. It's such a huge project. It's overwhelming, and the FAA is so hard to work with. There was a million excuses. I listened, and I stepped down the hall, and I told my deputy mayor, we're going to build an airport. The legislative session had started. So I said, get up to the session. We have got to find the money to build this airport. I went back to Washington, D.C. He went up to the state. I joined him at the state. We hit everyone up. We built these relationships with the county and our MPO and FAA and our federal delegation. Anyone, I mean, seriously, anyone that would listen to me. Like, I had handouts ready to go. And we just said, the messaging was, we would like to go for this. The beauty of that story is we cut the ribbon on that beautiful new building and airport without a dime out of the taxpayer's pocket and zero debt. And the FAA came in and said, here are the 12 things, Mayor, that you have to meet to even be legitimate or game over. We're pulling your funding and good try, basically. Like, you're so good.
Tap you on the shoulder.
Good effort.
We can try,
We hit all 12 of those points, those marks, in 18 months.
It's insane.
It's, again, goosebumps. And so that is the beauty of now, all of our relationships that we've spent years building have paid off, because now people are literally coming to us and offering funding and saying, build out, build the airport out. And so excitingly, we broke ground a week ago to do the full build out again, with no money out of the Provo citizens' pockets. All outside funding, and we are digging, and then by the hope, I always say 2.5 years, and everyone's like, Mayor, all the things, slow down. 3 years, we should cut the ribbon on the full build out of our Provo airport, which is just exciting.
Especially in anticipation for the 2034 Olympics that's about to come in.
And our epic sports park, it just all plays in together. I was a soccer mom. I told Scott, I'm like, I'm sick of driving down to California and Las Vegas with 10 screaming girls.
We heard that a lot.
I said, why are we not building it and keeping them here? I don't know what it is about Utah, but our kids are, I'm not athletic, like I'm clumsy. But our kids here in Utah, they are so good at sports. And why not keep that economic impact here in Provo and have people coming to us rather than all us? I mean, it is a huge group that leaves and goes to all these tournaments. and we have hit that one out of the park. It's just so exciting. All the big thinking and the buy-in, because the mayor, there's nothing special about this mayor other than we think big and we go to work and we do the best we can. And if we accomplish, fantastic. If we fail, I at least want the citizens to know that our team tried.
Yeah. No, and I think that that beautifully encapsulates what I love so much about Provo is, you know, we may be seen as small in comparison to like the big destinations, New York City or Florida or California, where people go for these tournaments. But the reality is I will go talk to somebody and have this conversation and say, we'd love to have you at the Epic Sports Park, fly into Provo Airport, all of these things. And once they come here and meet you both and hear that you guys are willing to do whatever it takes, you know, even if there's no way this is possible. We can't, you know, bring in a giant tournament as our opening tournament for the Epic Sports Park with major teams from all over the nation. There's no way that would happen. And sure enough, we did it with welcoming them over for breakfast on the terrace here and having those conversations. And that's what sold them specifically. It said the fact that you can call up the mayor or Kay, our executive assistant, to, you know, be able to bring them out and play bubble ball soccer or whatever that is, and just show that you guys care and want to bring a positive experience on that side of things, but also caring for the community as well, so that, you know, we have one of the safest cities in Utah, and or in the nation, correct me, one of the safest cities, best performing city, 3 times. Those are all the accolades that I like to brush in there anytime in the sales pitch, and it sells, and it literally matters to them because they're saying I can get the same experience that is still economically friendly for the families that are attending. It's in beautiful weather where it's not screaming hot like it is in California, and then also just being safe in downtown Provo property. All of those things just make it honestly one of the top destinations, I think, in the book for people to bring events. So I mean, that kind of segues into a final touch point that I wanted to touch on because I know we're running out of time, but what if you could recommend, kind of throwing out what Mayor Kaufusi said, if you were the mayor, if you were touring or you met somebody that was touring Provo for the very first time, what's the number one thing you would recommend them to do?
Well, you can't have these mountains and not celebrate the mix of urban and wilderness. I mean, within 10 minutes, you can be at Sundance Resort and just head right. You can see our beautiful Bridal Veil Falls, go up into Rock Canyon, and be able to yet come down here in an urban environment and have any dinner that you would want
from any country, pretty much.
72 restaurants just in downtown Provo.
She's got that stat right on the top of her head.
One of those truly unique, and we're nestled between beautiful mountains and a lake. There's just something very special when people come to our community and that aren't here every day. Those are always fun people to be around because they just say, this is beautiful. And I love the springtime we experience when it's warm here and we've got snow in the mountains. There's just something special about it. And even at the Epic Sports Park, which is over towards our west side, when you're at that Epic Sports Park, you still feel the grand scale of the mountain. You feel like you're at the foothills of the mountains. And we all know that there's a little bit of area between. It's visually dynamic, but the people are the good. The people have created every success story we have talked about. Their high use of the airport, their high use of the Epic Sport Park. We have the nation's most successful recreation center. We have the most successful Olympic venue on a transition from Olympics to day-to-day use. We just keep clicking this on, and so and it's created by Mayor Kaufusi.
All of us work together.
But there is a attitude of success here. And Abby, we worked together in the nation's best Parks and Recreation Department, won the gold medal. And I'm sure you feel the same way because I know you well, that once you have success in your life, you don't want to give it up.
No.
That becomes your new standard. And you've brought it to this new position and helping promote this. And we still have that here, too. And I guess if there's one thing about Provo creates success and successful partnerships. I think that's the thing that has always struck me about this community.
Which I love so much, and I love that you said that, because it's kind of like, what's next? Who else wants to come out to Utah? So whoever's watching this specifically,
Yes.
that we're
You are welcome here.
figuring it out. We'll have breakfast on the terrace with the mayor. It's gonna be great.
Be with us.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate it. And obviously, Mayor, I didn't want to cut you off from as far as what you think is great
No,
to do
it's
in Provo
just there's so many things.
Oh, yeah.
Again, this is just such a special place to me,
Yeah.
and it's near and dear to my heart. And so for me, it's the people. So much of it is the people in Provo. I mean, they are just amazing, and just welcoming and service-oriented folks, and just a wonderful community that really values our community, and we are just amazing. I mean, I look around, and just like Scott said, people come here and they just cannot believe it. It's just breathtaking. These massive mountains, and then, we can be in the lake, and I mean, we're just in this amazing setting that's hard to find around the country.
It's a hidden gem for sure.
It is, and we want people to come and enjoy our amenities we've built. That's what it's all about. Is economic impact matters in a city, and we want you to come and spend your money and book hotels, and because all of that lifts all of us.
Yeah,
and
absolutely,
so
on both
we are
sides.
just feeling really blessed and successful and excited, and the wheels are already spinning of what's coming next, and I keep it pretty tight.
Well,
but
there's a
just
lot
wait.
of stuff that we can't release quite yet. Lots of hidden stuff. So
Yeah,
follow us.
buckle up,
and
everybody.
It's gonna be quite the ride, specifically. So we're excited. Again, thank you guys both so much for taking some time out of your busy day. I'm grateful we're able to sit outside instead of being in meetings
Well, we
back
just
to back.
consider you one of ours.
Oh, you're so sweet. I left Provo City, but I've never left technically. So I'm just grateful for still being involved and being able to still advocate for such a wonderful team you guys are. And so thanks again, and we will catch you on the next episode. Thank you guys.
Thank you.